For 15 years, DJ Bob has been your go-to source for pop culture, past and present. We eat, sleep, and breathe pop culture, just like you. He's interviewed countless fascinating people, from well-known names to everyday heroes.
DJ Bob connects with his guests on a personal level, exploring their stories, passions, and challenges.
He's not just interviewing, he's building a community of like-minded, inspiring, driven, and talented individuals.
Join DJ Bob as he delves into the world of entertainment and the conversations that matter on all levels. This is the DJ Bob Show. Roll it.
So, Dee, first of all, it's so wonderful to have you here to talk about all kind of everything in your career all at once. So,
great.
The way I typically start these conversations is if you were to give an elevator pitch about your life's work, how would you start the elevator pitch? Like you're in the elevator, you're hitting the button, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Oh, wow. That's a really great question. I would say my life's work has been about making stories and content that inspires, that makes people ask questions about their life, and that lifts people up.
I feel like that's a fair assessment because I just finished reading your book and it's such a thought-provoking read, but such a needed read in our times, and I loved it so much.
Oh, thank you so much. That means the world to me.
And something that I latched onto with this book is like we're all connected through memories. Everybody has stories connected to people, places, or things that latch onto them. Is there a moment in your career where the memories are more concrete in your head than others?
For sure. There was a moment when I would say everything became very pivotal to me, and my future self, meaning myself today, is grateful to the person in the past who made the right decision. I'm going back to like 2014, and I got a series order for a show I had been developing called Ready, Jet, Go. And I was president of company Wind Dancer Films, and really could have gone one of two directions. I could have hired other executive producers and people to run that show and continue to be the president and continue to make movies and television the way we had, which was for more general audiences. But my heart and my core sense of purpose said, no, this is a really rare opportunity. So take a leap and don't just trust the paycheck that comes every Friday. We all want that. We all need that. But can you have the courage of your convictions, of the things that you love, the things that you believe in, to take this leap to do something you really, really want to do? And I did it. I left a very well-paying job as president of the company to run this show. And thankfully for me, it was able to launch into other opportunities as well. And the show itself was in production for almost 6 years.
Yeah.
So really, but also not just the success of that show, but it was that leap of saying, this is really who I am. This is really what I want to be doing. And even though on paper, it doesn't make the most sense, it makes the most sense from my heart. And that's when I go back to that memory, to go back to your question. And I say, thank goodness that I had that courage in that moment. And I'm really grateful that I did. I do remember, being afraid of making that decision, but also having a real sense that this was absolutely an opportunity for me to truly explore what my purpose was.
I can relate to that tenfold because I started this podcast when I was 15 years old. We're in our 15th season now.
Mm.
As a person with a disability, there is a stigma of being targeted or being, teased or especially in the media. Like you don't know how people will perceive you. It's not like it is now where inclusivity is almost in the core of everything we do. So even as a young kid, when I started doing this, I knew that I had a mission and I just wanted to talk to people and establish good conversations, and it worked.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? It's like when you do listen to your inner voice, you can look back later and realize you're really grateful to your younger self for having that courage and having that conviction to try that out because now you reap the benefits and the rewards of that, not just the success again, but also that internal sense of pride that you're doing what you've always wanted to do, what you're supposed to be doing.
So let's talk about the memory collectors more in depth. And the question that I kept thinking about as I was reading and something that I wanted to talk to you about is the idea of revisiting moments in your past. When you were writing it, it's not a sense of I'm revisiting this because I regret it and I want to redo it. It's almost like I want to feel this again and I want to make it better.
Yes, that's very insightful. I feel like when we have read and seen time travel stories, that time travel is used basically for the same story. And that story is, well, I don't like where I am right now, so I want to go back and change that. I have regret, to use your word, for where I am now. So let me go back and change that. And that's an interesting story. But I think that what all these four characters are truly longing is to re-experience these moments, not just for the sake of the re-experience in some case, that as a tremendous value, but also to learn more about themselves. Because I think when you look back at that moment with fresh eyes, with all the perspective that you have from living years beyond it, you're going to be more kind to yourself. You're going to see things that you missed the first time around because maybe you were distracted. You're going to know what's going to be important. So, in a way, it's like you're omniscient, right? You know the future, so you know what's going to be important. And that's what I really wanted to explore, not this idea of, oh, if I had just hit the winning baseball, and the championship game, my whole life would have been different. We've seen that story, and I love those stories too. But I really wanted to dig deeper with that, to have those moments of revisiting the past reveal more about ourselves and also perhaps unknowingly give us the answers for our future.
And on that note, what did this book teach you about yourself, like unpacking the story?
A lot. This was a tremendous undertaking. First of all, as you know, it's told from four different characters, first person perspective. So, in a way, it's like four different novels, four different characters speaking and having to have distinctive voices, but then also recognizing as their lives start to intertwine with each other, how they're already interconnected. For me, I started during the course of writing this a couple of really important practices that I still continue long after the book is finished. One is sometimes I would pretend I'm a time traveler from the future and walk through my own life, even with whatever crisis of the day with running a show or whatever problem is happening, because I have a family and three kids, and just step back from it and look at my life with a sense of wonder. And I would literally walk around my house at night and look through my own windows, which sounds strange, but I would look through it as though I was, 20 years in the future. And I would just marvel at it with a sense of wonder. Every single thing that you look at just is filled with awe and wonder and magic. And especially when you realize, in the midst of whatever you're going through, that that's what's really there. And so that practice really was something that came about through this. I realized I could have a time machine in a way without actually having one through my own connection with my life. And the other was to try to create deeper memories for the things that are the small. That has been a recurring thing for me to do pretty much as every day if I can, to take a moment and to really soak it in, because I know it's going to be a memory in the future, right? And that really, the writing of the book really brought that to me. And I was like, what will future me want to take away from this moment? Instead of being worried that this one is sad because he's lost his job, could I find in that, something poignant, something memorable, like his youth, his excitement about the job he did apply for, that I will hold on to. So I became kind of a memory collector in that way too. And I'm not saying in the big moments are easy to remember: your wedding, your birthday, those kinds of things, Christmas for some people. What are these small moments that really add up to
Even
big?
even this conversation right now
Yes,
that we're having.
exactly. That I get to talk to you. Like I get to. I wrote this book and I get to talk to you. That is huge for me. This is not just, one more thing that you've got to do. I get to. And that changes. I think when you think that way, it makes you see so many extraordinary things. Everything is a wow. Everything's extraordinary because you get to do it. I'm alive. I get to do and talk to you about this book that you read and that you enjoyed. That's a lot. That's like that fills up my cup.
That's awesome. And where can people grab this book if they want to check it out for themselves?
It's everywhere. It's the Penguin Random House has the hardcover and the paperback book in bookstores, which has been phenomenal for me to go into a bookstore and find it there. It's right now on Amazon. The Kindle is on a promotional price till the end of September for $1.99. So that's what's pushed it to the
That's
top.
a deal right there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the audiobook is so good. The actors in it, there's four different actors that play the different characters. I know many readers who've told me, oh, I read it and now I want to go to the audiobook, and that's how I'm going to re-experience it, and vice versa. And I will say the first time I listened to it in audiobook all the way through, I cried. And I wrote every single word there. Like, why am I crying? It was just something about it that brought it to life when you hear somebody saying those words, those first person I words, like, I'm experiencing this. I was like, oh, wow, this is really emotional. I actually had to turn it off because I was like crying too much in a good way, the good crying.
So to wrap this up, I've kind of prepared a little bit of a quote unquote game for you if you'd
Oh,
like
I
to.
love it.
So so I've gathered a couple of names of people that you worked with in your career and you share a memory of with that you have the first one that comes in your head.
Okay, this
The
sounds
one
fun.
the wonderful Craig Bartlett.
Oh my gosh. If you could see me, you would see I'm beaming from ear to ear. Craig Bartlett was such a joy and is a joy to work with. He's always happy. He's always funny. He draws, like he can conceive things by being able to draw, which is just an amazing talent. He's an incredible writer. He's an incredible singer. Like I've done so many shows with him where we sing Ready, Jet, Go songs, like for the Total Eclipse at the Cotton Bowl or at the Air and Space Museum. He sings, he plays guitar.
And
He's just so,
he'll do anything for anybody.
yes, he is so kind. He is so loving. And I honestly have, I worked with him for many, many, many years, and I've never ever seen him be anything but upbeat, positive, and leading the charge toward, whatever the problem is that we're going to solve it. There's a reason why in Ready, Jet, Go, the main character says Excelsior, onward and upward as this kind of catchphrase, because he's really Craig. Craig is an Excelsior person over and over.
He's a dear, 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 dear friend. I'm
Oh
sure.
my God. Same
I'm
here. We always make sure that we celebrate his birthday together and get together every year for that. Otherwise, we get busy and don't make time. But that way, and I think his birthday's coming up next month. So I will be seeing him soon. I agree with you.
Tell him I say hi too.
I will for sure.
So next one, Karen Greenberg.
Oh my gosh, Karen Greenberg. It sounds like I just love everyone. I've known Karen a really long time. And early on, when we first met, we said someday we're going to work together. And we tried a couple of different things. It didn't quite work out. They didn't get greenlit, not for any fault of hers or mine, just the way things are. And then she was the one that called me about Weather Hunters. And she goes, Dee, I've created the show with Al Roker, and I would really love to talk to you about the show and like to introduce you to the people who are looking for an EP showrunner. And it has just been a joy to work with her. I just adore her. She is just a multi-talented person too. Like in addition to being a person who's written on like every show you can imagine that's won every award, she's also like a talented artist and painter. She's just a great person.
And she's got that background of being a child actor too.
Yes, exactly. You
That
cannot even imagine what it's like to do table reads. You always want Karen in it because you can give her all the juicy roles and she knows how to nail them while the rest of us with no acting chops are like just reading, She's just a joy to work with and such a rare talent. I just love her.
so finally, Al Roker.
Oh my gosh, you're only naming people I love. Al Roker, first of all, if you hear him on the show, he's this warm, engaging, this dad that we all either wish we had or wish we could be if we're dads. He's that. But even in person, I worked with him for many, many months without ever meeting him. But one of my biggest memories was he came to Los Angeles for some behind the scenes in spring of this year of 2025. And I got to meet him for the first time. And he, as much as everyone is like looking at him and celebrating him, we were in a restaurant. He's really such a grounded, wonderful, giving, thoughtful person. We had this lovely conversation about early in his career, and he's got a really big passion for what we're doing with Weather Hunters. So he's just been such a joy to work with. I really could not think of a better collaborator, certainly not for a weather show, but just overall a really amazing human being.
I know we don't have a ton of time left, but I wanted to just say I got to see the pilot a couple weeks before you guys launched, and it was absolutely incredible.
Oh, thank you so much for that. It has been such a joy to make the show with an incredible team. There's so much talent across the hundreds and hundreds of people that made the show. And beyond this, like a real passion for weather, for children's television, and I would say an absolute determination to get it right.
And
The attention.
it's real, it's authentic, it's not put on.
Ah, thank you.
The family dynamic is so strong, and it's not forced. You feel like you know these people.
Yeah, that was really important for us from the very beginning to get that family to feel like a family that you are a part of without that sort of sitcom-y feel where you feel like people are just sort of shouting their lines at each other. But another thing that I spent a lot of time as showrunner, a lot of time, and I know all the directors and storyboard artists is to make sure that everyone is actively listening to each other. That's really important because what makes a family so amazing, why you want to be in it, is when you speak, people are nodding their head or they're listening or they're looking at you. And so many of like adult sitcoms or even adult animated shows about families, people don't. They're waiting for their next line, they're getting ready for the zinger, and that's not what makes you fall in love with a family. And I hope that shines through because that's been number one for us.
Well, I'm so excited we got to talk about Weather Hunters and your book, and I would love to do a more in-depth episode about everything and beyond sometime soon because it's been great.
Yeah, thank you so much again. This is a memory that I'm going to collect of our time together. Thank you so much for your really thoughtful questions. It's been a joy talking to you today.
And we'll definitely talk soon.
All right, that sounds great. I will tell Craig Bartlett you said hi when I see him.
Perfect. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, you too. Bye bye.